guys, it's Mass Effect. Just wanted to do a quick, excuse me, do a quick tutorial here on how to make kind of like some sort of Frim / Playma type of bass. I'll give you a quick quick preview of it. Sorry, I'm really sick right now. Okay. Anyways, here's the sound. Why is that not work? Whoops. Oh, let me turn this up a bit. So you got a nice little preview there of the macros and how it works. I think it's a really filthy bass. It's not the most heaviest, most widest kind of bass, but if you are trying to make more of the monophonic type of basses, which essentially they're supposed to be mono, these are just these. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, anyways, I want to just I can't even talk right now. Like, I'm just, oh my fucking god. I'll just start it off with the oscillators. You want to do a scrapyard under digital hybrid. Bring the wavetable position just about 9 o'clock. Take it down 2 octaves, -24. Intensity all the way up, amp all the way up. Filter in the middle, spectrum. Okay. Before we go into anything, I want you to go to voicing tabs, go to monophonic, trigger always. Turn on wavetable position for now, and pan position, and then for unison, I usually have my max at 16. Turn it up to 7, and by now you'll have like a really weird sounding bass, and you should be able, or you should turn down the volume because it's going to start clipping. But to really alter the sound and make it thick, you want to go to oscillator tab, go to oscillator phases, and then restart via gate. Glide is actually good at where it's at. Pitch bend, you don't necessarily have to do that, but you can if you want. We can make it go up an octave and up. I mean, down an octave and up. So, next you want to go to turn on your modulation oscillator. Turn it down an octave. Turn on ring modulator onto 1, oscillator 1, which is the only oscillator we're going to be using. Turn it all the way up. All the way up. For phase, you want to do it at about, I don't know, between 9 and 8 o'clock, but more closer to 9. Next you want to do is insert 1. Go to hard clipper. You can just double click both knobs so it'll stay. It will stay right at drive and dry wet. Envelope 4, just make sure your level's all the way up, your decay's in the middle. A little bit of an attack, a little bit of release, just so it doesn't click every time you press a note. Effects 1, go to Bronner tube, drive all the way up, dry wet all the way up. Dimension expander, For effects 2, dry wet to the 12 o'clock size. It's really up to you, but I kept it just above 9 o'clock. For the EQ, all I did was boost the high shelf entirely, as you can see. Nothing else. No boosting any frequencies, no low shelf. You want to go to routing, take insert 1 and make sure it's at filter 1. Okay, now for the next one, go to performance, or you could do LFO if you want. It's really, this part right here is entirely up to you. You can go ahead and copy this thing right here, how I have it. I don't know why I started at number 2 and then ended at 5 instead of 1 to 4, but it doesn't matter. Like, yeah. So you can, if you want, you can take a night, like pause the video and have a good look at that. Next thing, you want to go to sync and put 1:8 ratio. Now you want to, now that you have this set up, you can go ahead and take number 5. Performance or LFO, whatever you have, drag it to wavetable position and turn it up to about almost 1 o'clock on wavetable position. You also want to drop it on amp and turn it down just nearly to the bottom, just barely, like maybe like 4 notches towards the end there. Next, you'll want to go to phase, and you want to apply it and turn it down. Just as you can see, it's just barely even moving. What the phase is going to do, like, you got to get this perfect right here. Well, you don't have to get it perfect. Like, what I'm saying is, if you have it right here, it's going to sound exactly like this. The thing is if you drastically do this, alter this, it's going to get you some really gnarly effects. But for me, I just did it sparingly just to give it a nice little bit of a whoosh, phasey sound with my bass. I also applied that to, oh, I forgot, filter 1. After you've done that to your phase, pick filter 1 and go to band reject. Take the cutoff to about 10 o'clock. Bandwidth at about 11, almost just 11, resonance at 12. Now you can, and now mix 1 and mix 2, take it all the way mix 1, turn it to parallel instead of serial. I think, yeah, that's it. And then take number 5 again, take it to the cutoff and turn it down just below 9 o'clock, so it's only going down 1 hour or 5 minutes, I don't know. Yeah, 5, whatever, fuck, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I think that's it for LFO 5. I think, yes, I'm pretty yes, that's pretty much it. Now, for the macros, these are just to alter the behavior, and you can modify it as you go and play your sounds and your songs. So take macro 1, apply it to cutoff again, and just turn it down like 1/3 of that one of the LFO 5 length right here, as you can see. I think that's it for number 1, because cutoff, I could label it cutoff, so it's basically just that. So thick. Number 2, thick. What I did there is I applied it to bandwidth, and then I made it go down from 11 o'clock-ish to 9 o'clock. What this does is the bandwidth is going to shrink, giving it more, giving your movement less room to move, so it's going to give it a more thicker sound rather than going from a lengthy distance from the low end to the high end. It's going to go more in between the high end to the mid end, giving you a weird, thicker sound, as you could say. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but like that's how I come to perceive it. So number three, number three I called acid. Why I call it acid is I turn the resonance up, and I also make it a little bit thinner. I mean the bandwidth a little thinner, as you can see right here. So when I turn that up, it's going to get a really more resonant sound, like more of a screamy sound to it, which is nice. Number four, number four is different. I did that. Well, I called it diff. So what I did there is I added to the wavetable position, and I turned it all the way to the end of the spectrum of number 5. So now if I put it that way, then this is going to move with there, and it's going to change the area of the wavetable position, so it's going to sound different, thus different. Next one, number 5. Or sorry, no, sorry, my mistake. Number 4 is actually the middle one here, making it move just a bit, like up, see, from 9 to 10 o'clock, so another 5 minutes or an hour, whatever you want to call it. Number 5 is actually the one that meets this, macro number 5 actually meets the same parameters as number 5 does. Which means that I'll explain in a moment. So just take number 5 and make it the same length as LFO5, and as you can see here, it's the same as LFO5 again, macro number 5 on the amplitude. And then on cutoff as well, I put macro 5, and I made it the same length as LFO5 too, because you're going to see later on what I mean by that. Another thing is I totally forgot to do this, is I add number 5 again to phase and do the exact same thing that I did with LFO5 on the phase. Now that that's ready to go, I'll show you what I mean now. So solid, what this is basically removing this LFO together. As you can see, the amplitude is going to go all the way down, meaning it's going to give you a fixed note. So I'll show you right here. Whoops. So what that means is when it's solid, it's going to be a pretty boring sound, but to me it actually sounds pretty sick solid. The thing is, when I turn it solid, it now gives me the option to move this automation any way I want. So essentially, when this is turned on, this knob right here is going to behave the way this is right here for it. So it's basically just taking over LFO5, but you can manually do it yourself now. I'll show you. Which is pretty cool. If you're getting sick of your own performance LFO thing or whatever, you can go ahead and manually do it yourself. Number 7 is to apply on number 5 LFO, or whatever you want to call it, and I just turned it down. So what this is just essentially just changing. So right now it's going vroom, 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 vroom. Now this one, now when I change it, it's gonna go blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, I'll show you again. Which is really cool, so you could really alter your sound. Now for stereo, that's why I turn pan position on and make it just around between the end of full and mono. What I notice is if you have it all the way to the end here, and then you sum your track into if you had a bunch of basses that were like this, or any kind of sound that's in massive and you have it all the way to the end, I noticed that when you sum your entire song into mono, which is good to always check when you're making your song, is that it loses its power. So I never go too wide. I always usually go around here That way it doesn't lose its volume and power when I sum it to mono, which is very important. So what I do there is keep it on pan position, then turn wavetail position on, and make that go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So just about 4 notches up on number 8. So apply 8 to wavetail position in your voicing tab, and make it go 4 notches. So when I play it, it's in mono, and then I'll turn it to stereo. So yeah, there you go. I think that's it.